From Mamamia, welcome to The Spill, your daily pop culture fix. I'm Laura Brodnick.
And I'm Em Vernon.
And welcome to a very special Friday episode.
A special behind the scenes episode.
An episode we've been waiting weeks and weeks and weeks. You and I have barely spoken the last few weeks. So I was like,
You're not allowed to tell me.
I wasn't allowed to tell you about this. And I tell you stuff when I see you. So we've been, rumors of our friendship breakup have not been exaggerated.
It is gone.
We have not been speaking.
We're in the
I
trenches.
wouldn't tell you this. So today's a little different. We're not doing a really honest review. We're not doing a movie roundup, although many movies will be discussed because we're doing a little behind the scenes deep dive on the Drew Barrymore Show, of all things.
Because you recently went to New York.
I did.
Where the Drew Barrymore Show is filmed. You went to New York to interview the cast of the Madison.
Yes. I had this weird thing where I went to New York for like over a week and just like lived and worked there.
So weird.
In my little fancy.
You got a taste.
I got a taste. By the end of it, I felt like I lived in New York, and I've only gone there for short work stints before. Like I once flew there for a night, which I don't recommend.
Jesus.
So I got back to my Sydney apartment. I opened the door and I'm like, I can't believe I went to New York and back. And the last time I slept was in this apartment.
Oh no.
So not chic. And I've been like on holidays many times, but I've never gone for like a full, nearly 10-day work stint.
Yeah.
Where, yes, I went over to interview the cast of the Madison, which is an incredible show that we talked about on Paramount Plus from Taylor Sheridan, who does all the Yellowstone shows. I did a few other set visits and secret things that I can't say yet because those shows are not out. But I also went behind the scenes on the Drew Barrymore Show during my little New York stint, and then walked home from there from the Drew Barrymore Show to my little hotel room that was my home for the week overlooking Central Park. So I was feeling pretty good that day.
Oh my God, very
Except
main character.
I'd been out till like 3 a.m. the night before drinking martinis. And then
What else would you do in New York?
And then I went to that Hamish and Andy bar, that bar that they own.
Oh, is it good?
It was really fun, Old Mates Pub.
Is it only Australians in there?
No. It's all these American girls looking for Australian men.
Oh.
And to that I said to
Honey.
them, why?
Honey, I've got something to tell you. You're
I was
looking
like,
in the wrong places.
It's not any better over here. So anyway, apart from that, no, if any of my bosses are listening, I worked really hard and definitely didn't stay out till 3 a.m.
No, of course not.
Most nights. But yes, one of the things I got to do while I was there was go and sit in on a recording of the Drew Barrymore Show. So Drew Barrymore is one of my favorite actresses of all time.
Oh, I love that.
Just because she solidifies my childhood in such an extreme way, because I feel like my childhood years and my teen years were very much Drew Barrymore film focused. And it was also her movies were movies that my sisters and my brother we would all watch together because The Wedding Singer was like one of our sibling movies that she's in with Adam Sandler. We would all watch together, as is 50 First Dates. And then my sisters and I were obsessed with Ever After, and Andrew would watch it too because he was there. And so and all of those, and like Never Been Kissed, Charlie's Angels, like rocked my world. Like it was just, like she was kind of my teen years.
The first movie she ever directed was my favorite movie. Whip It. Yeah.
Oh my God. For anyone who hasn't seen that movie.
Holy crap.
Holy hell, that's a great movie. Just like everything that woman touches.
It is
so
amazing.
I've got to say I was a little shocked and disappointed.
Oh no.
When?
Oh no.
No. Not when I met her. When she started the talk show.
Why?
Well, it's the same way I feel when my favorite actresses become podcast hosts. Like, don't do my job.
Yeah.
And like,
I've got this covered.
Yeah.
You just stay there.
You're meant to be. Not even that. Like, I'm not job sharing with Amy Poehler or anything like that. But it's more so that, like, I just want them to be making movies and TV shows. When Drew Barrymore announced that she was going to be a talk show host, I did feel a sense of loss because I just wanted her to be in movies.
Yeah.
But
we love her.
Yeah, exactly. And I just thought there was
we can't do that.
Yeah.
That's why we need you to be there.
I always think like being a movie star is like, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that everyone wants to be. That's the thing that people aspire to be. That's the thing that the 1% get to do. And now with all these movie stars hosting talk shows, which is very different to what we do, but hosting podcasts, I'm just like, why would you do our day job?
Yeah.
But I have been.
We don't even want. I'm kidding.
We don't, guys. If Hollywood called me, I cannot stress how much I would be gone. There would just be a hole in the wall, my shape, as I like ran out of here. I would leave you all for dead. No, I wouldn't.
That would be so funny.
It's just a weird thing.
It's just be me by myself throwing my voice, pretending to be you.
But I have been proven wrong because not that I didn't think that Drew Barrymore wouldn't be good as a talk show host. Like she would be. She's a very chatty, personable person. But I think she's created something, a very different kind of talk show, a very different kind of like celebrity vehicle that's very like emotion led, that's very feeling led, that's just very like something that only she can do.
Yeah, it's a very intimate version of a traditional talk show.
Yeah.
It's not like she's behind the desk and there's a seat. It's not like there's two separate seats. It's one big couch. And it's kind of been memeified in a way because it's so new, it's so fresh, it's so different that there are TikToks of people like pretending to be Drew Barrymore and like sitting on their guests and like caressing their faces because she does get quite in people's personal bubble.
Yeah, she really does. So I've watched a lot of the Drew Barrymore show over the years. So when I was getting my itinerary for all the work that I would be doing while I was in New York, the opportunity came up to go and watch the show, but also watch behind the scenes, the setup and all that sort of stuff, which I love that stuff. It's one of the reasons I got into entertainment journalism is not so much to talk to celebrities, although sometimes that's a fun time. But I just love that magic of being on a set and watching it all happen. And so there was a conversation about me getting to interview Drew Barrymore, which I really wanted to do and also didn't want to do.
Right.
Because as you know, I have an issue with interviewing my favourite actors.
You never interview your favourite actors. You broke that rule quite a few times this year.
I know. Well, that's why I barely looked at Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep. I was like, I'm so sorry, ladies. I can't. Just because I think sometimes it breaks the magic of the characters that they are, especially if it's someone I grew up loving. If it's someone I loved as an adult, I have like a line.
Yeah. You're like, I have to do my job.
But I was like, absolutely, I would love to interview Drew Barrymore. Her team came back to me and said that on a filming day, she is just so busy and she's so in it because she's a producer and she's filming. And when I actually saw what that woman does in a day, I was like, no, she didn't have time to interview me. But I think what I got to do was almost better because I watched her for nearly 6 hours.
Oh my God.
6 hours I watched that woman. So I walked from my hotel to the studio, which CBS Studios, and I went to the lobby and I was waiting for one of the production people to come and get me. At this point, I'm kind of chilled. So I think I'm just sitting. I had seen the Drew Barrymore show. Have you seen the audience? They've got the bleachers and everything. Yeah. I thought I would kind of be sitting in the bleachers and I knew that they would take my phone off me. So I had my little notepad and I'm like, I'm just here to sit and watch her film the show.
And because you were invited because of like the job, does the way it works to just be in the audience, do you have to like line up and it's first and best dress?
You can pre-book tickets, I believe, or you can check them on the day. I think you have to pre-book them. Okay. And there's like a lottery and you have to like go in and get them.
And you don't know who it's going to be.
No, you don't know who the guests are going to be. So I got there and I didn't have to go in with the guests or anything. Like I wasn't sitting in the bleachers was what I didn't know. So I got in there and I called the contact who was coming down to get me. This is all standard stuff for a set visit. And a contact from CBS came and got me and walked me upstairs and then they put my phone in one of those little locked bags. You know how when we go into a movie screening and you have to turn off your phone and put it in a locked bag and only they can open it?
Yeah.
So there's no filming or anything like that, which is fine. And
which is quite nice to be away from your phone.
But I always have a panic attack that my phone, and I always have to get to open the bag because I panic I haven't turned it off.
Oh, and then it starts ringing and you can't open the bag.
Not that my ringer has been on for the last 10 years because that's crazy.
That's wild.
Not that anyone calls me. But for some reason, I always think someone's going to call the moment like Drew Barrymore's like having her moment on stage. So I made sure my phone was off. They took it away in a little locked bag. And then they walked me into the room and I saw the famous Drew Barrymore set in the studio and I saw the big bleachers where the audience sits like back from her in these like stands. And then they led me past the stands to a chair sitting exactly in front of the stage.
Like you're a producer.
Yeah.
What?
And this chair and I didn't leave that chair for 6 hours, by the way. This chair and I bonded in a way I've never bonded with any person. It was, and this is important, it was a chair that it didn't roll forward or back, but it could spin around. Oh. That's going to be important for many of the stories later. They sat me there and they're like,
so it's a swivel chair.
Yeah, swivel chair was probably a better way.
Our producer Manisha's sitting on one right now.
Yeah, it can't go forward or back or to the side, but you can turn in a circle as much as you want.
Was it one of those swivels where like you had to have your feet planted on the ground because it would slowly turn?
And as you know, I have the freaking and most annoying long legs. So whenever I sit in a chair, like they're bent.
Yeah.
Like my knees touching the floor.
Yeah.
Which is what I was here. That was also be important later on. And so they put me in this chair and they're like, okay, so just stay there. And then I was like, why am I in the Drew Barrymore show? is my question.
Yeah,
because
like, do I have a role?
I thought you guys said I couldn't interview her, and now I'm in the show. Basically, like, I can reach out and touch the stage, and all the cameras are around and behind me. And you know that on a film set, all the cameras on these big roller things, so they're being rolled and like moved around me and stuff. And then some other people from the show also sat next to me in the swivel chairs, but my swivel chair was out sort of as an outlier by itself. So it's like the Drew Barrymore stage, my chair, the cameras, the audience.
Was your head in frame?
I have looked for my head, because the thing is I couldn't tell you guys about it till now. This is why we're doing it, because I had to wait for all the interviews to air so I wasn't like spoiling things were coming up. I think I've spied my head a few times when I've watched this.
Stop.
Me and my
so
flat
funny.
hair is so easy to see.
That's so funny.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, and then they brought the audience in. It's people from out of town and stuff who have come in to watch Drew Barrymore, and they're so excited. But they're sitting up in these like benches far behind me.
Wait, you were meant to sit?
Yeah, where I thought I was sitting. I was just unprepared to be like a part of the show, not on camera, but like everyone had to walk past me and around me to do anything. Because my chair was like, it's like if someone came and put a chair in between us and then we did the pod.
That's so funny.
And they had to just kind of be. So everyone came in and they had this whole setup of like the audience kind of gets prepped on what's going to happen. They were setting up, like they filmed so much today. They're setting up a cooking section. They're setting up like a filming section. And also you have no idea who the guests are going to be, how many. So the day before it was the cast of the Madison. So I knew that they'd filmed. So I didn't know who was coming on my day. And then the moment happened where they were like, Drew's coming out. This is way before the show starts. Because
That's so
again,
ominous.
She's a producer, so she's like in the mix of it all. And then she walked out and I just had like an out-of-body experience that I was right next to Drew Barrymore.
Was she like as far as we are right now?
Yeah. No, she walked right past me. She did say hello to me. We had like a quick hello. And I have thought back on that moment of like, should I have said like, but it was so quick.
Good luck. Break a leg.
Good luck.
I love you.
I love you. She was just like, she was saying hello to everyone around me. She was like, hello. And she was saying, hello. And I'm like, hello. And then I said, I'm so excited to be here. And she was like, oh, would love that. And then she walked away. That was it. And in my head, I thought if I got more time to talk to her, would I have told her I was there to like write an article and stuff? But then I think maybe.
I'm here to observe.
I'm here to observe your work, Drew, and write a tell-all.
A performance review.
What I thought I knew she was short. She's tiny.
Is she?
She's tinier than you.
No.
Yeah. That woman's head could have very comfortably sat right under my boob, and she was wearing massive heels.
Is she small?
Yeah.
She doesn't have small energy.
No, she doesn't, does she?
No.
That's the weird thing, right? No, she's tiny.
Okay, so she is a short queen.
She's so tiny, like she wouldn't be able to ride the rides at Dreamworld.
Oh my God.
But she,
breaking
a big personality.
News. That's the opinion piece right there.
Yeah, exactly. And she comes out and she's greeting everyone. At the same time, like there's people rushing around, and it's so interesting. You can I know like obviously there were people there, so you're not really seeing her completely behind the scenes because she knows that there's strangers like me there. But I still thought it was really interesting watching this kind of superstar who's also the lead of this huge show. She went around the room and like there's so many people working on this show. Obviously, there's 3 different sets in the room. There's all the camera people. There's the producers. There's the people who are moving the furniture around. There's the people who are ushering the crowd. There's the hair and makeup team, everyone. She went around and like personally hugged and greeted everyone who worked on that show and was asking them personal questions. Like the guy who was moving the chairs and stuff for her, she was like asking him about his day. Like she knew everything about him. She was asking her makeup artist about like something, a question about like what she'd done the night before, as in like a way of like I really know your life and everything about you. And I'm like, this woman's about to film for 6 hours and she's just so in the lives of her team in a way that you would only speak to your like best friend.
That's so weird.
Which is, yeah. Okay, and speaking of celebrities stealing our jobs, here's the next bit. So after Drew had come out, she said hello to everyone. They'd set the stage. She turned to me and the people sitting next to me and the people in the audience, there's about 20 of them, and she goes, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. I just need to do a really quick work thing and I just need you all to be in the background. And get this, she said, I need to film my upfronts reel.
Wait, she does upfronts?
Yeah. So again, speaking of taking our job, so if anyone doesn't know, upfronts is when a company does a big presentation, mostly to sponsors and some media, about what's coming up.
Yeah, it's like what they're offering for the next year.
Yeah, exactly.
And they make it like very big and glamorous because they want to get clients excited.
Yeah. And so when she said that, and then she came and stood right next to my chair, because again, my chair is, I could not be more in the way.
Wait, you're in the upfront.
I think I'm in Drew Barrymore's upfront.
Wait, that means you're working for the competitor.
At least my arm is definitely in it. She came and stood next to me, and you and I have done, well, first of all, we went and did upfronts live last year for Mamamia. We went to all the different cities, but you and I have filmed upfronts reels before. Yeah. And it's just one of those things, you're like, oh, I've got to go do this thing. I've got to go film, but it's part of my job and blah, blah, blah. And as I was watching Drew Barrymore film her upfronts reel, she was like, you know, I'm so glad to be here. And like, this is what we've got coming up on the show. And this is why we've got these seasons and stuff. And she did a couple of different times to the camera while she's staying, like our arms are touching nearly because she's staying next to me. And again, her standing is like me shoulder height. And I'm leaning out.
So you're eye to eye.
I'm trying not to be in the upfronts video. And I'm just like, I cannot believe like even Drew Barrymore has to do an upfronts video.
Yeah, she's just like us.
She's just us. She's just like us. She's just a girl.
And you were in the upfronts video.
Apparently.
Which means I guess you're not working here anymore.
I guess I work for CBS in America, which actually I'd love to go back to New York. So watching her do that, and then she jumps straight into the show. So then the first guest is coming out, right? Mm-hmm. And we don't know who it's going to be. And so Drew Barrymore stands up and she says, welcome to Uma Thurman.
Did you die?
I did die because I don't know what your kind of thing with Uma Thurman is.
Yeah, obsessed.
Do you like any? Yeah. What do you love her
Well,
from?
I think like with Kill Bill, like my mum was like, you have to, like these are the movies you need to watch when you're older.
Like,
and I'm like, okay.
Always the one to bring us back to all these.
But that was like, I guess I'm like, I love her, but that was like the movie for me.
Yeah. I mean, she's been in so many like iconic 90s rom-coms and stuff, or like sci-fi, like Gattaca, or like even going back to like The Truth About Cats and Dogs, or like My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Also, so many things.
My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
So many things. Pulp Fiction, I think, would
Pulp
be kind
Fiction
of her
is
like
a good one.
Real, like one of her most iconic roles. But I think Kill Bill is like a real kind of vibe.
And the bodysuits.
So, oh my God, just everything about her. And so she just like, again, she has to push past my chair. Again, I could not be more in the way, but I can't move the chair.
Wait, so are you sitting where they all walk in and out? Oh.
It's like, again, if you're watching on YouTube or Apple, if not, I'll just describe to you.
So they come out from the front?
Yep.
Right.
So they come from the back and I'm sitting in front of the stage. They have to walk past my chair that's on the floor in front of the area. And there is a little walkway, but the thing about a TV show is that like there's always, it's like a crazy choreographed ballet. There's cameras moving around, there's wires, there's someone who's walking behind the camera person because they can't see and they have to back, and everyone's moving and weaving and ducking around each other. And so you just have to stay so still.
Right.
Like that was my whole thing. I was like, I cannot move from this chair the whole time. So Uma Thurman comes past me again. She's wearing this like silky skirt and this like cozy jumper and flats because she's so tall and elegant. She can wear a flat without looking crazy.
Oh my God, her height difference with Drew Barrymore must be crazy. I know. No wonder they're all sitting on the couch.
Yeah, exactly. And she just like sat on the couch, and then they, you know how Drew Barrymore just like leans in and just hugs everyone?
Yeah.
And she did, and they just had a conversation about parenting.
Oh, that's nice.
Which was lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it was lovely and stuff. And they just kind of had like, again, Drew Barrymore was being really criticized for that whole thing of like people like she doesn't ask questions. She just leans in. She holds the hands of the person. She gets too intimate. And some people don't like, do you like that when she?
She's not like the talk show that I would go to watch, because it's true, like that's not what I want from my celebrity interviews, but that's because I think it depends what you're interested in. Like if you're interested in Uma Thurman the person, then 100% I would be into that conversation. But because I'm interested in Uma Thurman the character and the actor, like I want to hear about like her career and everything like that. So I think it's like dependent, and she's really very much leaning into that audience that want to see like how celebrities are acting at home and what they're going through, which is so fun because there is an appeal for that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also there's something like sometimes I don't love a celebrity interview because sometimes I just don't have to try because it's their friend. And often like, and this happens a lot when I will interview a celebrity, and I will put so much time and thought into my questions and I'll get kind of shitty answers back. And I'm like, well, that's just what happens. And then they'll finish the Australian press tour and go on one of their friends' podcasts because every actor.
give like a tell-all.
Yeah, and because every actor wants to have a podcast now. And I'm like, guys, you don't have to do this.
Come on, Dax Shepard. Stop it.
Well, often it is Dax Shepard, to be fine. And because he hates press tours, Dax Shepard, which I don't have beef with him. I like a lot of things about him. But if I could ever get in a room with that man one day, I would just.
I'm like, we have to do our job.
He makes fun of press tours, Dax Shepard. And sometimes like you don't understand the other side of it. He's like, oh, these journalists come in, they just they ask boring questions and we have to sit there and it's the worst. I'm like, that is not every.
Because you only give us 5 minutes.
Yeah, your team only, because that's what he's like. So that's why we have a show, so you guys can actually talk. I'm like, I would also interview people for an hour.
Yeah.
If that was the.
Give us an hour, Dax Shepard. I'll break you down.
Yeah, exactly. But also Dax Shepard and other celebrity interviewers, the person interviewing you, they're not just journalists who don't care about you. A lot of the time, first of all, no one gets into journalism for the money. Let me tell you that.
I'll tell you that right now. No one's doing this for the money.
Lifestyle or anything like that. They get into it because you love the work. And if you're in film journalism, it's because you love movies and TV shows and you love talking to the people who make them. So all these people that you're making fun of, you could be their favorite actor.
Yeah.
And potentially they couldn't even afford the park. This has happened to me before, like when I first started out, like couldn't even afford the parking outside. So you had to like get a bus and walk for 20 minutes to interview this person who then treats you like shit.
And that's why you don't meet your idols.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you don't meet your idols. So I'm in the wrong frame of business for that. But the point of saying that is that Drew Barrymore does also, I think, because she puts her guests at ease and she's just so kind of vulnerable with them. Like she was telling a story about her daughter kind of humbling her, and then Uma Thurman was talking about her and kids and stuff. But she did get an interesting moment about her career because Uma Thurman was talking about the fact that she always felt like a really bad actress, which is kind of interesting. But I guess there was a time when people were just like, she's just beautiful and blonde and stuff. So she said she was in a movie with Glenn Close. She was telling the story to Drew Barrymore, and like I'm sitting right next to them.
You're in the story.
And I'm in the story because the three of us are sitting like knee to knee. And she was saying that she was kind of very stressed out about this acting job she was doing with Glenn Close. And at one stage she was kind of like on the floor and trying to be like really emotive. And she's like, I'm an actress, I can do this. And afterwards she said to Glenn, like, do you have any advice? What should I do if we redo the scene again? And she said Glenn Close just looked at her like steely in the eye and said, try less hard.
Whoa. And you know how I feel about Glenn Close after 101 Dalmatians.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry for bringing up Glenn Close in your presence, by the way. Because you are scared of Glenn Close.
I'm so scared of Glenn Close. I can't even picture her face right now. Like,
I'm so sorry to bring that up. That's like someone bringing up Angelica Houston to me. I'm scared of her.
It's fine.
So then they had their moment. Then she leaves, and straight away, no break, no moment, no camera reset or anything. She was like, and now please welcome Tori Spelling.
Jesus Christ.
So
straight back to back.
Back to back. That's the thing. Drew
so
Barrymore,
Tori Spelling and Uma Thurman were just hanging out
backstage.
Wow.
And so here's the thing about, I'm sure maybe some people wouldn't be excited about Tori Spelling.
Yeah, she's not one of my people.
I was very well, I never thought I'd be in the same room as Tori Spelling. She's just, and she is like that kind of like, she was very famous when I was not even a teenager, like a tween, when 90210 became like the biggest show in the world. And I wasn't allowed to watch it, but I was very aware of who she was, and I watched it later. And she was one of those crazy Hollywood it girls. And it was really...
Was she in the remake of 90210?
No, she was in the... Yes, she did. So she was in the original 90210. And that is a very controversial casting because she is the original Nepo baby. So her father, Aaron Spelling, was like a top-tier Hollywood producer, and he made 90210. And it was like Shannon Doherty and all, like all this like incredible cast.
I watched the remake where they were all the parents.
Yeah. So she reprises her role of Donna Martin in that for like a few episodes, and like Jenny Garth plays Kelly and stuff. And it was a big deal at the time because a lot of people like Tori Spelling's a bad actress and she's ugly. Like, again, I was going to say the 90s, but also today also as well.
Ugly?
No, I don't think she's not ugly at all.
Absolutely not.
I just think, I was about to say we don't talk about women like that anymore, but unfortunately we do. So Tori Spelling was kind of like, everyone was like, she only got put on the show because her father is the producer, which I do believe is true. The story she tells, this is the same shit Matthew McConaughey tried to pull recently.
This is the worst thing about Nepo babies. This is when they don't accept that they are.
And when they think they can trick people by changing their name, but everyone knows who they are. So like Matthew McConaughey's son Levi was recently in one of his movies, and Matthew's like, look, he auditioned. and he used a different name. And so he just got the role fair and square over hundreds of people. And to that I say, Matthew McConaughey, even I know what your son looks like.
Yeah.
So you think that the people you've worked with for like the last 10 years and the people who manage you and the producers that you're working with don't know who your son is? Lies. Same with Kate Winslet when she was like, oh, Mia has a different name to me, so it's so good no one knows who she is. I'm like, well, her father's also a famous director. Plus, I know what your daughter looks like.
And also now you're talking about her now.
Yeah. Just say that they got the job through there. That's fine.
We're
so
fine
Tori
with it
spelling
now.
her. Yeah, that's fine. That's how things work. It's fine. Just be Jaden Smith and be like, my dad got me a job, and we were like, we love you, Jaden Smith. It's fine. So Tori Spelling's whole thing was that she auditioned under a fake name and she got the job fair and square. Which I don't believe for a second, but I don't care because
she was like the first person to say it, so that's how all the other celebrities now copying. They're like, oh, what she did.
Yeah,
do what she did.
I pulled a Tori Spelling. But she's such an iconic 90s actress and I've just like followed her life for so long. She's got like 6 kids now and stuff. So she came out and it was such an iconic moment because she and Drew Barrymore were like 90s it girls at the same time. And they had this big hug again on top of me and I'm like, I'm so sorry. So they're hugging and having this moment of these two women who have lived through this intense fame and I'm trying not to like
be in it.
I'm like leaning backwards in my chair, but it only swivels. It doesn't go forward and back.
You just turn around.
I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then it was so iconic because there were all these pictures. They had all these pictures behind them of every time in the 90s where they wore matching outfits, like accidentally, and where they would dress the same and stuff. Also, they were talking about both being single and haven't been kissed for like decades and like not dating and stuff and all this. And just like having this like crazy chat, like two girlfriends, right?
Yeah.
And then at one point, Tori leaned over and kissed Drew and Drew like closed her eyes. She's like, that's the most action I've had in years. And I was like, girl, it happens to all of us. It's
juicy.
Fine. But the best moment was Drew Barrymore goes, I'm so happy you're here because we're both Scream girls.
Oh, you would have loved that.
I nearly freaking died. I nearly died because, as you know, Scream is one of my favorite franchises. We've weirdly talked about it multiple times this week. I don't know why. I mean, I personally talk about Scream
There's
every
not even
day.
a new movie coming out.
But it was interesting because I hadn't heard Tori and Drew talk like this before about it because they're not in Scream together, but they're both in the franchise. So Drew Barrymore was in the first Scream movie and can I spoil the movie that came out like 3 decades ago?
Yes, you can.
She dies in the first, the best slasher death ever.
Yeah. Literally the best one ever because she was like, I even remember this like as a kid because like she was like the poster person for the movie. Like she was everywhere.
Set up as a star.
She was doing the promo. She was set up. She was the biggest name in the movie. Dies in 10 seconds.
Honestly, this is why.
And that is cinema.
And that is cinema. Bring back cinema for the love of God. Yeah, she was the star. And when she died in the first like scene, everyone was and bloody brutally. Like she was dead. Yeah. There was no coming back from that. Like her insides were outside. And so that was such a star-making turn. And actually it was Drew Barrymore who because they offered her the Sidney Prescott role, which is the role that Neve Campbell had. Yeah. And she was like, oh, but wouldn't it be better if I was Casey and I'd die straight away? And they were like, absolutely, let's do that. And then Tori Spelling was saying on the Drew Barrymore show, so they're having this conversation in real time because Tori Spelling had a little she didn't know, but they used a video of her in the latest Scream that came out. So Drew was asking her about that. And then she said, well, I auditioned for Sidney Prescott. And when they gave her the script to read, they give you sides, which is like literally 2 sides of the script. So you only get like a tiny bit that you do your audition with.
Oh, okay.
And in the audition, because I guess it was every actress in Hollywood who was all the 90s it girls who were auditioning for that role, they all got the same sides to read. And on the side, it's the scene in the movie where Sidney Prescott, which is the main character, is talking about her life and how like because her mum's been murdered and she's been stalked and everything, she's getting all this attention. And her friend's like, well, maybe they'll make a movie about your life. And she goes, Sydney, and this line's in the movie, it's the line where she says, yeah, but with my luck, they cast Tori Spelling. Because that was like the joke at the time that like you would have the bad luck to be played by Tori Spelling. So Tori Spelling had to audition with that line. But then she was saying that like she was in on the jokes. They brought her back for the second Scream movie where she plays the Sydney character but in the movies that are made about her in the Stab movies.
It's so good.
So that was a fun time. So which brings us to our third guest, and this is where things go awry for me. So Drew Barrymore gets up, and also in this moment, she's had a few little downtime moments, and she gets her hair and makeup fixed while she's like talking to the audience. She never leaves. We're hours into this now.
Does she not need to pee?
Well, no.
Jesus.
Well, no one in that room was leaving.
No one's peeing.
I was in that chair for 6 hours. Like, I was not leaving.
Wow.
Even if and again, this will be important for this story coming up. Even if that chair had been set on fire, I would not have left it.
So what does she do in between? So she's talking, what does she say to the audience?
So she walks around and like kind of, it's like she was treating us like we were a team. It was Drew Barrymore and us.
No.
And we were a team and we were getting through the day. And so she'd be like,
Against Uma Thurman.
Against Uma Thurman again. She goes, oh, well, now she's gone. So she's like, okay, we've done the upfronts reel. We've done our pickups. We've done this. We've done that. Okay,
what does she, like, how does she do her pickups?
So she has like a teleprompter, but she has to, a few times she kind of stumbled and had to do it again. A few times she was like, oh, it was supposed to be a one shot. And she's like snacking herself, like you're supposed to do it in one take.
Yeah.
And then she kept blaming menopause.
Yeah,
she's like, I'm so sorry, I'm having a hot flush. And she's like, oh my God, my pants are so tight. And one side she unbuttons her pants. And she did not have a big stomach at all, but she kind of like exaggerated, like pushing it out. She's like, oh my God, that's so much better. And all this stuff. And I'm just, again, she's like right next to me the whole time. And I'm like, this is how Drew Barrymore works. It's crazy.
It's crazy doing that because it's one thing doing it here in the studio and we have to do pickups and I'm like, ugh. But imagine doing that in front of a live audience.
Imagine like doing what we do every day and all the stuff we say in between takes and stuff for a live audience. Like I would, my heart would be beating so fast the whole time.
I'd be cancelled.
You would be cancelled.
On the spot.
So she also takes questions from the audience.
In between?
Yeah.
Jesus.
She says to everyone, you can ask me anything you want. And so at one stage, this woman who was like right in the back row was like yelling at her to get her attention. Like she's waving her arms and she's like, Drew, can I ask you a question? And Drew's like, absolutely. And she's like getting her makeup like touched up, but she walks over to her and she goes, Drew, what's your memories of E.T.? Now, here's the thing about that.
Oh, God.
That obviously was Drew Barrymore's big breakout role. And her godfather, Steven Spielberg, like created it. It's an iconic movie. But if there's like one hacky kind of expected question, it's asking Drew Barrymore what her memories are of filming E.T.
Yeah.
Like if you were a journalist, you would be like laughed out of the room for
Yeah.
that. But the thing is, this woman is not a journalist.
Yeah.
She was a school teacher from the Midwest who had traveled to New York with her teenage daughter for like a girls'
she
trip.
probably loves E.T.
And she loved E.T. And she also just wanted to meet Drew Barrymore. And this is crazy because Drew Barrymore like answered that question. And the look on her face when she said it, I'm not a good person. So if that was me, I would have been a bit like, on the inside, I would have been like, oh, I've answered this question 1,000 times. Like you could have asked me anything.
Look up any YouTube video.
You could have asked me anything. You asked me what I remember about being E.T., a movie that I made 40-something years ago that I've talked to death about, that I've written a book about, that I have everything like, and we've got 2 seconds. Like, what am I going to say? But Drew Barrymore's a better person than me because the look on her face was as if she'd just been asked the deepest, most personal question about like the legacy she wants to leave in this world. And she gave this long, thoughtful answer about being a little kid on set and being scared and remembering like having like a Halloween day where like Steven Spielberg came in and they were all dressed up and all this, and just told this like, just like rattled off all these memories and kind of brought it back to the kind of like child she is now. Here's the thing about Drew Barrymore. She is like a raw, I say as I've spent like one day with her, but I lived a lot this time.
A full day with her.
She is like a raw nerve ending at all times.
Oh.
I can't imagine living like that.
Yeah.
Is in like, she's always in this perpetual, the whole time, like she was very professional, but the whole time she was in this perpetual state of like, vulnerability and kind of teary, but very emotional.
That's the thing. She's always teary.
Yeah.
Even
and
like
I saw
any
tears.
question she asks, any question she gets.
Literally someone brought her a water bottle over and she took a drink and she was like, thank you so much. And like tears. And I was like, oh my God, but like not put on.
Yeah,
if people think she puts it on for her camera.
Well, remember that video where she was like, just go out in the rain.
Yeah.
The rain, like that is that just her?
That's just her.
Yeah.
That's her on a calm day, I would say. It's like she's having an epiphany every second of every day.
Yeah, right.
And I cannot imagine
being in that head.
I cannot imagine just living again. Like it's like a raw nerve ending that's always being
like
slapped.
She lives every day with wonder.
Yeah,
where she's just like, wow.
And every time someone asked her a question or gave her something, she was just like acted like it was the hugest thing. And the thing is, like, I don't think that was put on. I think you can put something like that on for like these 10-minute interviews she was doing on camera, but not for like over 6 hours in like one room in a sustained period of time when you're also filming and everything.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting. And she brings everything back to her childhood as well. And I guess that's because she's never really healed from what she's such an open book that this is what I'm getting from just being around her for a few hours and like being in there before the crowd came in and like watching her with her staff and watching her set up and watching her prepare and being close enough, because again I was sitting in her lap the whole time, being close enough to overhear what she's saying to people on the team and stuff, and like also at one point her and Tori were hugging and whispering, and I was like, and they turned their mics off so no one else could hear, and I was like leaning as far as my swivel chair would let me go, leaning in, and they were saying something about people they knew or something, or people they have to catch up with, and I was like, but they were also like hugging as if their like lives depended on it, like crazy in terms of like just, and the cameras weren't even on them then, the cameras were off.
Yeah,
and I know because I was between the cameras, so I could tell when they were off, so it was just happening for them. So yeah, just really like living in an open way, like I could just not relate. Okay, so that's what she does in between.
Yeah, got it.
She didn't leave the set. She was out there for the whole 6 hours. And at one stage when she's having a breakdown with Tori Spelling on the couch, this dog just wandered out through the audience and came up on stage and sat on the couch with her, and that's her dog Douglas, and he's just allowed to run around the set.
That's
and
so cute.
And like it's like everyone thought he was cute, but every so often, just because where I was sitting, he would like run through he would like run around my seat. Like Douglas ran across my legs many times, and again my legs are in the way. But the camera crew would be like, Douglas, move, Douglas. So it's kind of like everyone's like, oh, he's so cute until
Douglas.
He runs in front of the camera.
Oh.
So then she's like, okay, now it's time for our final guest. And I was like, oh, well, we've already had Uma Thurman and Tori Spelling. Like, who could it be? And she goes, please welcome Lizzo.
That's crazy.
And then Lizzo in this like slinky gown and these heels, again, walked past me.
She looked amazing. I did see like clips of the interview that she did.
And
with
you
her.
love Lizzo, right?
I do love Lizzo.
Yeah.
She looked amazing.
And I know she's been through some stuff.
Yeah. And oh my God, her flute playing. Jeez.
Oh my God, I saw her play that flute game in real time.
Wow.
It was so good. And it was also very special because it's Lizzo's birthday, right? So
Stop.
Lizzo gets out there and she and Drew Barrymore are hugging and she was like, okay, because it's your birthday, we've brought in all your favorite foods. And they started bringing out all these different plates and things, and they were eating these.
I was wondering because like obviously you can see the full show.
Yeah.
But like she also does like little clips of each segment. And in one segment they're just talking and then it like zooms out to the table and it's all this food on table.
Covered
and I'm
in
like,
food. Yeah, I don't think they've shown all of it because obviously they don't show the full thing. But like they had so much food and they were taste testing it. And they had these things that like just look like a bread roll. And then they ripped the top off and it was like they call it a wiener, but like a hot for us, like a hot dog inside. And then Drew's like chowing down on it and Lizzo's biting into it, and then Drew starts burping and she can't stop burping. And again, I'm like, this is like actually the best part of my job is like I'm sitting here while Drew Barrymore and Lizzo burp next to me. And as you know, I don't like burping.
You hate.
Because I'm a lady.
Yeah.
But I let it go when it's.
You hate like potty humor.
But I let it go when it's Drew Barrymore because she likes
I wish you let it go for me.
No, sorry. Sorry, you're not Drew Barrymore. And then, this is the first. So then they're like, so we brought all your favorite foods, but we know there's one food that you love most in the whole world. And Lizzo's like, like, what are you going to say? And then Drew Barrymore goes, so we knew you were coming today. We knew it was your birthday. And we know your favorite food in the world is the gumbo made by Tina Knowles. Do you know who Tina Knowles is?
Beyonce's mum.
Beyonce's mum. And so Lizzo's like, no. And she's like, so we have the gumbo here.
Wait, they asked Tina Knowles to make gumbo?
So Tina Knowles made gumbo, sent it over. If anyone doesn't know, so Tina Knowles is obviously Beyonce's mom, but she also was like unofficially created Destiny's Child and managed them.
Yeah.
But also like officially made all their costumes and everything and is a star in her own right. And I love following her on Instagram because she just posts the wildest stuff. Like she'll just post like a blurry screenshot of something. Everyone's like, Tina, Beyonce could have given you the full like high res image for this.
Yeah.
Before you post her tour photo.
She's never known a clean camera lens.
No.
That woman.
So she's like everyone's stage mom, everyone's favorite stage mom.
Yeah.
She's like, so, and Drew Barrymore is like, obviously she's dying of happiness in this moment because she's so excited for this. And she's like to Lizzo, we've got Tina Knowles' gumbo.
I love gumbo. Have you ever had gumbo?
Yeah, but I've never had Tina Knowles' gumbo because then Lizzo's like, do we have enough for everyone? And Drew Barrymore's like, no, just for you and me. But this looked like good gumbo. I could smell it. It was right. Again, it was right next to me. I could have reached out.
You could have had some.
I could have reached out into frame and like taken one of those treats off the table because that's how close I was. But here's where things got a bit awkward. So they give the gumbo to Lizzo and they're like, Tina would have loved to have been here today, but she's not in town. So I don't know when she had the gumbo couriered over or whatever. I have questions about the gumbo's journey.
Yeah, the transport. Because it's like a lot of seafood in there.
And yeah, exactly. So it had to be made like kind of fresh that day. And then Drew Barrymore goes, but we have a special message from Tina Knowles that we're going to play now. And so then everyone's looking around because there's screens everywhere. There's screens behind them. There's screens behind the audience. Like, where is this message going to play? A producer pulls up right next to my chair, like right here, with a screen and a TV and puts it next to my chair. And then someone points to Drew Barrymore and Lizzo and tells them to look at the screen. But the screen's not coming on. So instead,
they're looking at you.
It's Drew Barrymore and Lizzo looking at me and me just next to this blank screen. And Lizzo and I are making, and she smiled at me and I smiled back. But like, what do you do then?
Oh, no.
What do I do then, Emily? I'm just in an awkward eye standoff with Drew Barrymore and Lizzo.
This is why we need to bring back jesters. Because if a jester was in your spot, it would, like, he would know what to do.
Yeah.
Bring back jesting. We all need to learn how to jest in case celebrities are staring at you, waiting for you to do something.
And then the screen comes on and Tina Knowles is there, Beyonce's mother. But her face and my face are right next to each other because, again, I can't move in this chair.
So you can't look at Tina?
I can swivel. I could have swiveled and had my back to Lizzo, but I didn't want to do that.
No, you can't.
And so Lizzo's watching Tina Knowles, but she's also looking at me. And it's like the only way I can describe it is like, you know when like someone's singing you happy birthday, you don't know what to do with your face?
So you're just like kind of awkwardly smiling?
It was like Drew Barrymore and Lizzo, they were staring at Tina Knowles, they were staring at me and I was smiling at them and the three of us are locked in the most awkward situation that you can ever imagine. And then once they turned it off, I sort of started clapping and then like Lizzo kind of looked at me as if like, don't clap. And I was like, oh, sorry. I thought it was like, but they kept saying to the audience, clap the rest of the time. So I thought it was
oh no,
that was the thing to do. So that happened.
Oh Jesus.
So then they had this beautiful conversation about Lizzo because you know how she had this whole thing about like she wasn't gonna like fall in love and then she met this guy. She didn't lose her virginity until she's like in her 30s and all this stuff. And they had this beautiful conversation. And then after that, and she played the flute game. So she was like playing the flute, all these things. Yeah. That was great. The TV's still next to me. I'm like, can someone fucking move this? Like, guys, come on. I've been
Tina's gone.
Tina's gone. Okay. Tina and I just somehow just did a joint birthday message for Lizzo. And I don't know how that happened. I still haven't had any gumbo. And then they
it's going so bad.
It's all there. Again, I could not be more in the way, but I'm about to be more in the way.
Oh no.
Because then they finished the segment and Lizzo and Drew are hugging on stage. And then Drew goes, if you don't, like, everything's turned off and everything's filming because I'm there, I can hear everything. She goes, oh, can you not leave because we really want to do a TikTok? And Lizzo's like, yeah, I'll do a TikTok with you. And I'm just like, I'm going to watch them do a TikTok, I guess.
Jesus.
So then they get someone's phone and they come in right in front of me. And again, I can't move. So I'm trying to lean back in my chair.
So are they in front of you, back towards you or facing you?
Facing me.
Oh, God.
And they're trying to do this TikTok.
And they're standing up at this point?
They're standing up doing,
So you're like face to crotch.
I'm like, yeah, kind of. I'm like as close as you and I now. Like I could reach my leg out and nearly.
God.
And then again, I am just trying to make myself smaller. And I've never felt this whole time I've been on this set. I've never felt taller and bigger in my whole life.
Yeah.
Because I'm so in the way.
Yeah.
And I'm like literally I've been sitting down for 6 hours, but I'm exhausted because I've had to keep moving. It's like Tina Knowles is there, and then I accidentally hit Uma Thurman, and then like I'm blocking Tori Spelling's way, and I'm just trying to like, and I can't move because I'm in this chair.
Yeah, that doesn't roll backwards.
It doesn't roll backwards or forwards. I guess they didn't want me to be mobile. They didn't want me to be rolling around the set.
You can just hear it in the background.
I guess they didn't want this like wild Australian girl just like rolling herself around the set. They're like, at least if she's in the chair.
Yeah. Douglas would have just like pushed you over.
Yeah, also Douglas is right there. He's like up on the couch. He's gone to sleep. And then they're filming the TikTok. And this is where you can sort of see why Lizzo is like the person she is, that she like kind of like produces her own stuff and owns her own stuff and like made a TV show and all those things because she took charge of the situation.
She's like, I am TikTok.
Yeah, she was like, like, this TikTok's not working, basically, in a nice way.
Yeah.
She was like, we're going to use my phone. And she's like, and this is the wrong location. So we're going to go to this couch in the corner on the set. And guess who they have to walk past to get to the couch. So this time I'm prepared and I like pull my legs so they can walk past me. Otherwise they couldn't have got through.
Yeah.
It's Drew and Lizzo and they're all business because like they've got to get this TikTok right. So I like literally pull my legs up under my chin in a way I haven't done since I was 10. I had like that much elasticity in my legs for them to go past me. And they go to this couch and they film this TikTok where Drew's being like a crazy fan and she's lying all over Lizzo and all. I didn't think they've posted it yet. I haven't seen it. If they have, sorry, spoiler alert. I did wait a few weeks, guys. Come on. And the whole time Lizzo's like kind of producing it in a way that she knows TikToks.
Yeah, she knows.
She's like, so you film here, you do this. She's like, Drew, you crawl across the floor to me. And Drew's like, absolutely. Like Drew takes direction because she's a working actress since she was a child. So they're doing all that. And at this stage, like I've had my legs like pulled up for a while now and they're hurting.
Your legs understood these.
And
they're getting up here.
And I'm just like, and I'm like, they're not going to walk past me again. Because they're not going back to the stage. So as they finish the TikTok, I'm just like, oh my God, I have to stretch my legs out. I haven't moved for ages. So I stretched my gargantuan legs. They're so freaking long. I stretched them all the way out like this just to be like, oh, like, because I've had a hard day.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about.
Yeah, no one's talking about you sitting in that chair.
Everyone's getting Drew Barrymore drinks and fixing her makeup and checking that Lizzo's okay and all this stuff. And no one's looking at me.
You're like, can I treat myself to a bathroom break?
And that was not happening. And so as I'm stretching my legs out, in that moment as Lizzo's leaving, she goes, oh, I forgot my phone. And she runs back across to get her phone. And so she should. Now, this is going to sound like I'm trying to shit talk Lizzo or start a vendetta against her. I'm not. It was my fault because my legs were out.
I 100% believe you. It was your fault.
You're like, I can't believe it was your fault. And as I'm...
You tripped Lizzo?
No, she stood on my foot.
Ow.
But it was my fault. Okay, I can't.
That's okay. I'm sorry, but like someone standing on your foot is like so painful. But that's way better than you tripping Lizzo.
I know. I would have died. I would have been like, just take me. No, don't let her fall. So she just like she was walking away, and then she goes, oh, I've got my phone. And she runs back. And in that moment, that is the exact moment that I thought I was in the clear.
Your legs let go.
And my legs went to stretch out. And so she went over and she's wearing this gown, right?
Yeah.
And heels. And the heel did go on my foot. But again, it could not have been more of my fault. And she went, and I kind of went, oh, because like the heel went through my foot. And then she went, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, it's my fault. And I like pulled my legs back and she just like kind of looked at me as if like, she's like, that's the girl. And in her head, like, it was such a
She was like, is that Tina Knowles?
Is that the girl who was in my Tina Knowles video? She's probably like, this woman, why is she sitting in the front in her own chair? Why was she smiling awkwardly next to my Tina Knowles video? Why did she start clapping when no one else was clapping? Now she's tried to trip me. She probably thought I was like some sort of plant trying to like take her down. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she was like, oh, okay. Like didn't really say anything and just like kind of like kept going. It was such a tiny moment. But after that, I'm like, I cannot believe that I nearly tripped Lizzo.
Oh my God. I can't believe Lizzo broke your foot.
I cannot believe, don't start that rumor. No, when I go back then I walked back to my hotel overlooking Central Park and I looked at my foot and I was kind of hoping there would be like a bruise or something, but there wasn't.
Damn it.
I know, because I was really hoping.
Like, do it again.
I was like, stop my foot harder, please. Because I'm like, I could have taken a photo and been like, this bruise is from Lizzo. And I would have loved that bruise. Like better than an autograph.
Yeah, you'd keep injuring it so it never goes.
So it would be there. I take so many photos with it. I get a tattoo artist to recreate it.
Imagine your OnlyFans.
Oh, so hot.
Oh my God.
I go to the top of like Foot Finder kind of, yeah. But no, it wasn't quite. It's because I had like a fixture one. Damn it. Everything bad happens to me. So that was it. That was the moment that I tripped Lizzo / she stepped on my foot.
What a story. I cannot believe they put you in that chair. That's so funny.
By the time they were like, you can go now, I'm like, really? I feel like I can't leave.
Can I take the chair?
I was like, I live in this chair now. This chair is my home. Like literally I was so nervous about, because you don't want to screw anything up on a TV set. So like even if they had said to me, like even if Drew Barrymore had said to me herself, that chair's on fire, I would have been like, I'm not getting out of the chair.
I can't get up. I've been assigned this chair. This is my chair.
I'm staying in this chair. So that was that. That is behind the scenes of the Drew Barrymore Show. Wow. That's how they film it. And
I can't believe she did 3 back-to-back interviews.
Then she did a cooking segment.
Oh, shit.
Then she did a menopause segment.
What?
Yeah, we don't have time to get into all of that. But like I watched her cook. I watched her do like a infomercial.
And she does this to herself because she's a producer.
Yeah, like she did it all. Then they did like a good news gossip section. It was a whole thing, and she's still burping from the hot dog.
Oh my God.
And apologizing. One day she even goes to me, I'm so sorry, because obviously I'm the one who's getting it because I'm like right there. And I was like, it's again only you,
like,
Drew
it's
Barrymore.
Fine, it smells amazing.
Yeah. So but we don't have time to get into all of that. But that is behind the scenes of the Drew Barrymore show. That was my little adventure. And I left that place being like, I just really... But also,
it would have felt like a fever dream.
Oh my God, it felt like a fever dream. Like I felt like my heart was pounding by the end of it, not just because of my foot, and also just my legs, and also the fact that I nearly tripped Uma Thurman with my arm. It's like I just want to say I'm on a lot of celebrity watch lists. I think now, I think a lot of people are just like, that woman tried to. But I guess my limbs are so long. Yeah. But you know what's really sweet?
But that's not your fault either.
No, it is not my fault.
It's genetics.
That's true. So the way it ended is like Drew Barrymore could have just, I guess, like just left there. Because I've been onto a lot of film sets and watched people film, and they've kind of just been like, thanks, they wave, and then like the crowd pumper up a person comes up and says goodbye to you and stuff. But Drew Barrymore herself came out to the audience and that she'd been like kind of with all day. Because in her head, she's like, we're a team. Yeah. We're ending it today. And she's like, I just want to thank you so much for being here. She's like, you could have been anywhere. I mean, not me personally, because I was at work, but anyone else. She's like, she's like to the audience and to me, she's like, you could have been anywhere today. You could have chosen anywhere to spend your time, and you chose here. And I cannot tell you what that means to me. And I freaking believed her.
Oh my God.
She's
Imagine being the crew and listening to this every day.
I know. That woman could be a cult leader if she wanted to. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even normally join a cult, but I would for this cult. And then she goes, I just want you to know that the world's a really difficult place. And often we feel like we're all left out and things are so hard. And you might feel like you're an outsider or you're a freak or people don't understand you. And she's like, I just want you all to know that no matter what you do in your life, no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you have a home here with us and you can come back.
Jesus.
In my head, I'm like, you can come back if you can fly to New York and get a ticket. But
if you can pay for your ticket.
In the moment, it felt real.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, wow, I do have a place.
She must have a great audience retention.
Oh, yeah. So that was that.
That's so cool.
It's my little behind the scenes of the Drew Barrymore Show. So you can watch the Drew Barrymore Show, not just my episode.
Oh yeah, watch the Lizzo episode and see if you can see LB's head.
So you see the moment where she's watching the video.
Or like Tina Knowles.
Me and Tina Knowles do joint birthday cameos now together. We're like a double act. But you can watch the Drew Barrymore Show on Paramount Plus. Wow. So you can go back and watch old episodes. You can watch the new episodes. And yeah, if you watch that episode, because the interviews I was there for across different shows, see if you can see my head.
Oh my God, so exciting. Thank you so much for listening to The Spill today. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, please leave us a rating and review. 5 stars only. It is the best way to help us. Plus, do not forget our morning dose of entertainment news, Morning Tea, drops right here in this feed on Monday morning at 7 a.m. Just hit follow so you do not miss a thing. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.